Now that I've got my paper set up, I've got my grid drawn on my photograph, the next step in this project is to start laying out exactly where everything is. And this is where the grid comes in really handy, and this is the reason why we're using the grid. I'm going to start up at the top and look in this first box. I noticed that where the hat leaves off right here, there's a line that goes across, and it's about in the middle of this grid square, about right here. So about right here, I've got a line that goes across, straight across. All right. From there, there's a little bit of a line that curves where the dark part of his hat meets the light part. From here, his hat stretches over, and it's about a quarter of the way up on this grid square. About right there. There's a line under it that starts right about here. I'm drawing all this very lightly. I want to be able to erase anything that I draw. Next square over, that's about it for that square. There's not much in it. Next square over, a little more than halfway up, the brim of his hat meets. This is gonna curve across and meet it. This line kind of merges into this one here. And the grid makes everything easy. Everything's in proportion. About right here is where his head moves up and disappears into the hat. Got a line that starts where I left off. Goes down here. And that's about it for that grid square. All right, then I move on to the next one. Where I left off here, there's a line that loops around and it ends almost in the corner, about right there. And I just go square by square, laying everything out. On his face, especially around his mouth, people want to get really, really dark with the outline of the teeth, but you don't need to do that. Just kind of lay things out for right now. I want to kind of lay out where his mouth is. And then I'll go back through and I'll shade and everything. Don't make really dark outlines, because we're not going to do that for this project. I'm going to kind of put where the nose is. I'm going to draw lines where the nose is, but I'm not going to do a really heavy dark outline of the nose. For example, his nose here is going to be in this grid square right here. It's going to pop out a little bit. It's going to go diagonally right here. And about in the middle, it starts to curve up and disappear. Down here, got the nostril. Got this line coming down on his face that bends around his mouth. So that's more like right here. All the way up around his nose. All right, once you have the entire thing laid out, kind of drawn out, outlined, then we're going to go back through and start the shade, and that's what I'm going to show you in the next video.